It's about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
Welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, kicking off another edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, episode number 355, give or take a few. I know we've done a few out at events and stuff like that don't go into that grand total, but I don't know, we're approaching episode number 400. That'll happen, sometime next year maybe? Anyways, I am still here. Yep, you guys haven't got rid of me yet. Probably not going to do it for quite some time, but thank you for tuning in. Once again, if you've tuned into all 355 episodes, I guess that makes two of us, me and whoever actually tuned into all of those. But thank you guys once again. We got a fun one today. You know the show, we pack sometimes 2, 3, 4 guests into a show at a time. I think we've gone like 5 guests before. Today, we're doing 1 guest. Actually, kind of 2, but 1 guest. And you know what that means? That means that guest is massive. And when you want to talk about massive guests, there's only one guy that I would dedicate a whole hour of a national radio show to. Actually, I don't want to say one guy. There's a lot of them. But Travis Pastrana, he is coming back to the show today. Recorded with him earlier. It's a pre-tape interview. Actually, earlier today, Trav and I recorded. We're going to air that in hour number 2, so it's going to take up the good chunk of hour number 2. 3-part interview with Travis Pastrana, and I got to say, it's all kind of broken apart, you know what I mean, because we've got to fit into these national time slots. So I just made the decision. I got some epic guests on Project Action coming up, but we're going to drop this one Thursday into Project Action. So if you want it uncut, tune into Project Action this week. So Travis Pastrana today, my good friend Chris Leone that also runs my media program and my website, he's going to call in. We're going to talk about that crazy roval that happened in Charlotte. So a lot of stuff to come today. Baja 1000 news, Rossi news, all kinds of stuff coming at you on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Whether you're looking for a tire that balances high-performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in wet and dry conditions, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the all-new G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, cruising with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right. We are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Thanks for joining us. Kicking things off today, man, like I said earlier in the opener, we've got a big show, lots of news. Travis Pastrana coming up in hour number 2. We've got some COTA to talk about. World Rallycross and ARX was at Circuit of the Americas this past weekend. We're going to do something really fun we do every once in a while on the show. Which is a live watch of a YouTube video. Anytime there's like a viral motorsports inspired, we do it with Jim Connor, right? Well, Casey Curry, been a guest on this show numerous times. He's got a new video with Monster Energy called Hammer Down to Havasu. He's in his Ultra 4 Jeep, and it's a viral video. We're gonna do a live watch of this thing. I haven't seen it yet, so I kind of saved that for this show today. It came out, I believe, middle of last week, but I've held on to it, and we're going to do a live watch, so you guys will be able to hear the video. If you want to watch along on YouTube, you can, and I am going to give my commentary of the video. So it's always fun to do that. I don't know why I like doing it, but they literally have become some of our highest rated segments. So we're going to do a live watch of Casey Curry's video. My friend Chris Leone is going to call in to talk Roval, and we are going to talk, I guess, some Baja here in a second. Some big news coming out of Off-Road Expo, and then don't forget Pastrana in hour number 2. But, the big news this week, I know a lot of you, we're doing the show on a Wednesday because Hurricane Rosa was supposed to hit Arizona yesterday. And I was like, literally the eye of the storm was supposed to come right over Parker where my studio is. And I was like, what's the point in doing a live radio show on the internet? Because we're delayed for national syndication. What's the point in doing it on a Tuesday when a hurricane's going to hit? The internet's going to drop out. Million things could go wrong. I'm like, all right, we'll just push it to Wednesday. And then instead of 9 a.m., we're doing it at 10 a.m. today. I guess the glory of the internet where I can kind of delay things by an hour if I need to. It's because Travis Pastrana is in Minneapolis getting ready to do Nitro Circus. I wanted to catch up with him before MX of Nations, and he had an hour window to record an interview, but it didn't line up with when we were live, so I had to do that. We came out of that, had to go into post-production on that, and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, we're here on a Wednesday because mainly of the hurricane, but speaking of the hurricane, I got to say, it's not often that Arizona gets hit with a hurricane, right? It's been like 25, 30 years, I think they said, maybe not that long, maybe in the 90s, maybe a little over 20, maybe. I don't know. But, it's supposed to hit Arizona, so I'm like, all right, so everybody kind of gets ready, and I don't know, people selling sandbags and stuff like that. One dude, actually, I was in the grocery store, and he was like way over the top, right? I'm in the grocery store. This dude and his wife, they got 2 shopping carts. One of them, literally, he had like 10 cases of bottled water. And then in the second shopping cart, his wife had bags of ice. And he's like, he told the lady in front of us, yeah, we got to get ready for this hurricane, And I think he's thinking like what hit Puerto Rico. And I'm like, man, we're way far inland. This thing's going to be just like rain, lots of rain, right? He's like, man, when the power goes out, he's like, we don't want all the stuff in our fridge and freezer to go bad. He's like, we need bottled water because you don't know how long that we're going to be without running water. And, I thought the zombie apocalypse was coming. And so dude is there, he mentions before he checks out that he actually went and bought a generator the day before, and him and his wife had like 100 gallons worth of gas cans in the back of his truck, and he was going to the gas station to get 100 gallons of gas to fill up his generator. And I'm going like, are we on different planets? Like, I'm watching this weather report. Yeah, we're supposed to get a couple inches of rain, but dude, the zombies aren't coming. Like, I mean, we're full on. This guy was ready for the apocalypse. So it was quite bizarre. I found it hilarious. Anyways, I'm in Parker, and you know what? The whole storm went around us. We didn't even get, but I don't even know if we got 2 drops of rain. Like, literally, Parker is in a dome. Phoenix got pounded with rain. Yuma got pounded. Parker didn't get anything. So needless to say, it was useless for me to not do the show yesterday. I could have totally done it. But in hindsight, you know, it is what it is. So the hurricane came, it went. I'm still here. Nothing happened. Some people in Arizona did get flooded, so bummer for them. But it wasn't like it was the apocalypse coming. But anyways, so that happened. Meanwhile, we've got the Off-Road Expo going on over there in SoCal. That's right, at Pomona at the Fairplex. That is the biggest off-road show of the year. Sandsport Show is the biggest UTV show of the year. Off-Road Expo is like the biggest off-road in general. You know, it's got more like Jeeps and trophy trucks and stuff, where Sand Sports is some sand buggies, but mainly UTVs. So Off-Road Expo also has UTVs as well, but it's just it's a little bit different feel out there at Pomona at the Off-Road Expo. So that happened this past weekend. The big thing about the Off-Road Expo is Baja 1000 map reveal every year is a massive, massive deal in the off-road community. Everybody wants to know what's the map going to look like? What's the map going to look like, right? So SCORE always picks this big event to drop the map. Obviously, they do qualifying at SEMA, and then, you know, Baja 1000 is mid-November. This is a loop race. We all knew that. They do the point-to-point every third year. So the 50th anniversary was last year. It was point-to-point. 51st, this was a loop race. 806 miles. Sometimes it clocks anywhere in from 700 to, 900 and something miles. So 800 right in the middle. So that dropped. If you're a Baja fan, you've already seen this. But 800 and some miles, it actually dips down. It's a pretty brutal Baja 1000 loop race. Drops down, goes through San Felipe, past Cocos, and back up the coast. So it does run clockwise. And clocks in at about 806 miles. I mean, I'm not going to dissect the map. The guys on the internet are already doing that. Go over to racedesert.com if you want to check that out. But the map is out, and it's definitely, I look at things from a logistical standpoint, me being, that I've got, a trophy truck and a UTV, and if I was going to race Baja, how many people do I need? This map definitely... SCORE didn't do teams any favors. You're going to need some extra people. Not that you don't need a lot of people for the Baja 1000, but there's ways to do the course, same with the Baja 500, where you can do it with less people. This is definitely one of the track maps where you need more people. So logistical. I know teams right now, they're probably calling every uncle and aunt. No, just kidding. But they're trying to round up some more really, really good people, to be a part of their team, and guys that are competent in the pits and things like that. Because this map, it's definitely, you're going to need to tag team with some other crews. It's definitely going to be a tough one to chase. You're going to need a lot of manpower and a lot of people down there. So Baja 1000 map is out. But other big news, we broke this story on our social media and on our website this weekend. That's why you need to always follow us on social media. This is where I give us a plug, right? At Jim Beaver 15, at Down and Dirty Show on Instagram. It's at Jim Beaver 15 on all other forms of social media. We've got our Facebook group as well, and the website downanddirtyshow.com. We broke this story on our website. I think it's already got over 2,000 reads on our website, and on social media, kind of went crazy. Lots of comments, too, coming at me on Twitter. But it hasn't been formally announced, but his name was on the side of the door of the factory Honda Ridgeline. Alexander Rossi, your Indy 500 champ, is going to be teaming with Jeff Proctor, Johnny Campbell, the Baja legend, and Pat Daly. We all know him from off-road. He's been on the show in the past as well. So they're going to form a 4-person team for the Baja 1000, and this is all me kind of reading between the lines because nothing formally has been announced. But this factory Honda Ridgeline. So Alexander Rossi going to the Baja 1000 this year. Massive, massive news. I am stoked to see Rossi behind the wheel of an off-road truck. I can guarantee you, and I don't do a lot of guarantees on the show, I guarantee you at some point between now and the Baja 1000, Alexander Rossi will be on the show. I'm gonna step out there and guarantee it. So you can bet that I am going to be blowing up people's phones to get him on if and when they decide to make a formal announcement. Like I said, we broke the news only because his name's on the side of a truck at the Off-Road Expo. I mean, like, to me, you're going to go to the biggest trade show of the year. You're going to put Rossi's name on the door. Something's happening, even though we're waiting on that press release. So we'll probably have the press release posted on our website as well when that formal announcement comes along. But as of now, unless they peel the sticker off Alexander Rossi to race the Baja 1000, I will say he went on our Facebook post and actually commented like an emoji, like with the sunglasses or something like that. So wasn't a confirmation, but wasn't a denial either. Anyways, Alexander Rossi Baja 1000 in the factory Honda Ridgeline should be a really exciting storyline heading into Baja. So definitely keep your eyes on that. Also want to make mention before we go to break, though, that hurricane, the Baja 1000 map was launched, and then the hurricane hit Monday, Tuesday in Baja, destroyed part of Baja where the course runs through. So I could see some amendments coming to that at some point in the very, very near future. So anyways, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you guys informed. We're going to take a short commercial break. We come back, we're going to talk some Roval, and we're going to have my good friend Chris Leone on the line as well. So all that and more to come here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance, or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere is possible with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here. Going to talk Roval here in a minute, but before we get to that, I do want to talk to you guys about something I have found, and that is GoParts.com. And I got to tell you, I'm saving a ton of money on my auto parts, and believe me, I go through a lot of parts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jim, they're online. How's the customer service? Well, I had the same concerns until I use them, and believe me when I tell you, the service is second to none. In fact, 9 out of 10 customers polled said that they would not only use GoParts again, but they'd also recommend GoParts to their friends and family. Look, they've been around for more than a decade, so when they say they know what they're doing, they do know what they're doing. GoParts, this is why we wrench. That's GoParts.com, go-parts.com. Check them out. You'll be glad that you did. All right, so now it is time to switch gears and talk a little bit of Roval. That is right. We are going to talk about the Roval that happened at Charlotte. And you know that I very rarely ever talk NASCAR on this show. So for me to be stepping out and saying, hey, I'm going to talk about the Roval, you know there's a good reason for that. And for me to talk about the Roval, I'm getting my good friend Chris Leone on the show, who is calling in right about now. How's everything going, Chris?
I'm doing great, Jimmy. How are you doing?
Good to have you back. It's been a long time since you've been on the show, but I can't say it's been a long time since you and I have talked, because that's like almost a daily thing nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. You have been keeping me busy all year, my friend, and thank you very much for it, because you pretty much single-handedly saved my career in April.
Well, I don't know about saved your career, but we put you to work anyways. But, yeah, so those of you that don't know, Chris Leone, formerly with Red Bull Global Rallycross, we all know what happened there, not with Chris, but with the series. But, Chris, now, those of you that tune into our website all the time, thank you guys for doing that. But all that rad content we've been posting, that is all courtesy of Mr. Leone. So, yeah, he is working with me, so just disclaimer here. If he's biased towards the show, that's why. But anyways, Chris and I have a little bit different vantage points on this Roval that happened at Charlotte. And Chris, I got to say, Chris, you're more well-studied on NASCAR than I am. So I'm going to defer to you as the NASCAR expert in this conversation. Is definitely not me.
Well, yeah, that really was what got me into my career, was writing about NASCAR when I was a teenager, and, went through a lot of different sites. And I had always been a fan. Living in New England, you would go to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and man, 20 years ago when the sport was still booming, you used to be on a wait list to get tickets. I only got to see Dale Earnhardt race in person once, because even though we put ourselves on the ticket list in 94, that's how long it took to be able to get an opening for Cup tickets, September 2000. So, I've been watching NASCAR all my life, and even though I moved into the admittedly much more fun off-road portion of racing, I've still been following along with NASCAR. And obviously, for motorsports in America, in some ways NASCAR is still the high watermark. And you want to see the industry succeed. You want to see everybody be able to succeed. So seeing NASCAR kind of fall off in the way that it has over the past few years, with fields shrinking and TV ratings going down, it's just not something you want to see. And, then of course we come into the Roval, and, on the one hand, you did have one of the first natural ratings increases of the year, where it was on the same network that it was the previous year, and the ratings actually went up. But I gotta be honest, I wasn't impressed with the racing. I had some words for it that I don't think I can say on air, so I'll just put it kindly and call it a goat. I'll call it a goat rodeo, man. Yeah. I was not impressed.
Well, I know you got some of your thoughts out there on a piece on the website, so definitely if you guys want to know Chris's real thoughts that don't have the FCC, I guess, looking over our shoulder. Yeah, you can go to the website. But for those of you that don't know, and you might be wondering, why the heck is Jimmy talking about NASCAR? Because we don't on the show. Well, part of the reason, like Chris said, NASCAR is still the 10,000-pound gorilla in motorsports. Everybody talks about it, so I don't talk about it on the show. Doesn't mean I don't watch from time to time. But the Roval, So for those of you who don't know, they basically took Charlotte Motor Speedway, one of the most iconic tracks in the country. I'd say second to, I don't know, it's home of NASCAR. I don't want to say second to Daytona because you've got stuff like Talladega. I'd say Bristol is pretty iconic, but it's very, I mean, it's the home of NASCAR. Let's put it that way. But anyways, they basically took the oval and then they ran a road course in the inside of it, and then they made a couple chicanes on the outside. Anyways, any track where the pace car spins on Saturday, that's like, to me, this is going to be interesting when you've got pace cars spinning out. But I found it entertaining, Chris. I will say I found it entertaining. I think the throwaway by Jimmy Johnson at the end, it was like a wow, and then it knocked out Truex, and it was just Jimmy driving hard. That was probably the first real racing incident of the day. I mean, I don't know. That was just him driving hard and trying to win a race, but I found it entertaining, but I don't know if it was entertaining the first time. And I get what you said on the website. Like, I don't know that this is something that I will find entertaining 3 times a year. It was new. It was fresh. I watched it because of that. I think the ratings went up because of that. Everybody wanted to know what is going to happen. But I think long term, I don't know, maybe a once-a-year deal. But if it becomes like, they start doing it 2-3 times a year, I think it loses its luster. And, and I think then it kind of gets stale. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I can concede that it was entertaining. And first of all the credit to the world to NASCAR and to SMI for trying something different. I mean, being a part of GRC when I was, credit to SMI for trying something different with GRC. And, SMI was actually a very big part of those first GRC seasons, and we hit a lot of the SMI tracks. I mean, we had 2 rounds at New Hampshire that were great. My home track, I got to see Bristol Motor Speedway, which was a bucket list deal for me. And they're very forward thinking, and I know that NASCAR is trying hard, and I can concede that the race was entertaining, but I feel like it's one of those things that might have been entertaining for the wrong reasons, and I feel like, given where NASCAR is, it's something that, yeah, absolutely, you could overcompensate. Because if you think back to the first half of that race, and this is the important thing, I don't think you can call something a good race just based on a good finish, because the first half of that event was pretty, I don't know, I don't want to say uninspiring. I don't want to come down too hard, but it didn't feel like there was a lot going on. I mean, you saw the stuff in practice, the pace car spinning, the cars hitting the walls in the chicane. I mean, I don't know. To me, the layout just felt like a cut rate imitation of the Daytona road course layout that they use for the Rolex 24. And I mean, that's fine. You got to do something. You've got to try something right now. If ratings are going down and you've got major sponsors like Lowe's leaving the 48, and, you've seen all sorts of sponsorships sort of get pulled back over the years, and, they're working hard to try and compensate. I don't know. I know that they're locked into this deal right now where they've got contracts through 2020 with all these tracks, and you've kind of married yourself to ISC and SMI, where they own most of those dates, and only a few of the dates on the schedule are owned by independent operating racetracks. And that's even seemed to shrink over the years. But what fans are actually calling for, it seems, has been more road courses and short tracks. And this, to me, just felt like a half-hearted concession in a way, just because, that's not a real road course. That's a few extra turns carved into a mile and a half.
Yeah, where's Mid-Ohio? Where's Road Atlanta? Where's Mid-Ohio? Where's Road Atlanta? I mean, we got some iconic venues that would be amazing to see NASCAR run at.
No, absolutely. And I mean, Mid-Ohio puts on a fantastic show with the Xfinity cars. Even Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I don't know that I can see the Cup Series going up, to Ontario. I don't see them crossing the border anytime soon, but, the truck finishes there, and the whole races for the truck series up there seem to always just be a terrific show. I mean, I think Sonoma's taken a step in the right direction where they're reintroducing the carousel starting next year. It's been off for about 20 years. Everybody's always going to cry, run the boot at Watkins Glen until they do it. And now that we've got Cup drivers who have really committed themselves to being great at road courses, and, road course ringers can't really do all that much anymore. I mean, the days of a Ron Fellows coming in and scoring a top 5 for an underfunded team or even contending for a victory are just long gone. So there's definitely an appetite for that. And obviously we all love short tracks and we all love, short track racing with stock cars. And that might be a better fit than a mile and a half. I mean, to me, this almost just felt like posturing to be able to save race dates for some of those mile and a half ovals that, currently kind of bloat the Cup schedule. And, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about exactly what you said, seeing this multiple times a year as just kind of a cop-out to keep from losing race dates. I'm worried that we're going to overcompensate. I'm worried that it's going to be like a gadget deal, like the Wildcat offense in football. Or remember like 10 years ago when everybody who had like an orange third jersey in every sport started wearing orange as their primary color, and it just got totally oversaturated? I'm worried it's going to be a deal like that, because what we do now is we overcompensate on these things, and this isn't unique to NASCAR. This is sports marketing. This is entertainment marketing. This is just cultural marketing in general. It seems like we see something that we like, we oversaturate it to death, we overplay it, and we start wishing that we had what we used to have. And, I'm worried that based on that finish, which admittedly was a great finish, and seeing Jimmy Johnson go for a win when laying up would have given him a chance at an 8th title, I respect that. It was a bonehead move, and he's admitted that, but I respect the fact that he won that win that badly. But, man, I got to tell you, that late race restart where everybody just plowed into the wall in turn one, that was Bush League. That was one of the most awful things I've seen in racing in a long time. And, I've got to be a little self-deprecating. Working in rallycross as long as I did, I saw a lot of boneheaded moves in a lot of series. But that Cup restart with Keselowski, Larson, a bunch of guys all plowing into the wall, man, that was not what we should be showing up for in one of the premier racing series in North America. Absolutely not. That was just incredibly bad.
Yeah. Well, I agree, Chris. We got to take a short break. We're up against the commercial break here, but thanks for calling in, my friend. We definitely need to do it more often.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jim, and thanks for giving me the opportunity on the website. New articles every day down in dirtyshow.com. Thanks again, and looking forward to coming back on soon.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3 from General Tire. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressive styling with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back here to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And we ran kind of a live read last week. Just wanted to let you guys know that it is still available. Our good friends at Audible. If you are looking to jump into audiobooks, I got to tell you, I am a big fan of Audible. I've been using them for a long time, and we've got a special deal with Audible right now. If you go to audible.com/downanddirty, you are going to be able to get a 30-day trial and an audiobook for free. All you have to do is go to audible.com/downanddirty, and you're going to get a 30-day trial and an audiobook for free. And I got to tell you, I travel a ton. They've got a great selection of books. Just got done listening to Jeff Gordon, his Dream, Drive, and Destiny, the only place on the net where you can get that in audio form. And also a big fan of Shoe Dog, Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. He's got an amazing book that is also on Audible. So it's audible.com/downanddirty, 30-day free trial, first audiobook for free. So, definitely check that out. And something else you should check out, I'm going to give you guys a little bit a fair warning here. Casey Curry, go to YouTube right now if you're listening, if you're not driving or something like that. If you're on your computer listening, punch in at YouTube. Casey Curry, Hammer Down to Havasu. It's on Monster Energy's channel. We're going to do a live watch of this here in about 30 seconds. So I like to do these where I watch a viral video for the very first time live on air, and I give you my crazy commentary on it while we watch it. So it's been fun, really a lot of fun to do that recently, anytime there's a big viral video. So make sure, Casey Curry, Hammer Down to Havasu, give you guys about 10 seconds to pull it up, and we are going to roll right through this thing. So you'll hear, kind of the video in the background, and, you'll hear my commentary, obviously. So it's Casey Curry, Hammer Down to Havasu. This in his Ultra 4 video. Give you guys about 10 more seconds to pull it up. So hopefully you guys are ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hit play right now. All right, so we got some aerial shots here of Havasu. Now Casey Curry, just, some cool helicopter footage, and I guess it's supposed to tease what's to come. Big old monster claw logo looking thing. Obviously they paid for the video. We're going to get the promo here. What's rad about this video is like I know all these spots. It's 30 minutes from my house, so it's going to be interesting to watch this. So he looks like Casey Curry's got like cowboy hat on, which is hilarious because Casey is so not a cowboy. But he's got the cowboy hat on. He's getting strapped into his Ultra 4 truck. Yada yada. It looks like a bunch of B-roll stuff. 850 4-wheel drive trophy Jeep. I guess this would be his trophy truck-ish thing. I don't know. So he's in Oatman. A lot of you don't know Oatman. It's a ghost town that actually still has people living in there. There's a bunch of burros. You can actually go and see the donkeys, feed them, stuff like that. I've taken my daughter up there. It's pretty rad. Some aerial footage now of Havasu. Looks like he's going to just shred through the mountains here. So he's in this ghost town. It's Old West, like cowboy type of town. It's about an hour and a half from Parker, hour and 45 minutes. Some old cowboys looking out. Looks like a saloon there. It's actually a really rad place, worth watching. It's actually only 30 minutes from Laughlin. If you're ever in Laughlin, make sure and go there. But it's called Hammer Down to Havasu. Look, he's actually drifting through some mountain roads on Route 66 right now. Kind of rad. Looks like he bails off Route 66 onto some old trail here in his trophy Jeep. I don't know. I'm looking at viral videos. I always look for that catch moment. BJ Baldwin's got him in his where he does these huge launches. Ken Block's always got that iconic shot in Gymkhana. I'm looking for that from Casey Curry's video here. He's just bombing through the desert, kind of jumping through some whoops. I mean, looks like a traditional desert racing video right now. Looks like him maybe in the Needles area. You can see the river and some homes in the background. All right, so he's up at Pirates Cove now. You got a boat here. Looks like a big offshore boat cruising down the river. Casey Curry kind of rad, running alongside the river on this road. Boat and Casey Curry, side by side. I don't know. I mean, it's nothing special, just kind of a cool shot there. Looks like he's done with that. Now off down this road. Looking for the iconic shot, the banger image. You've got to see that in one of these videos, right? BJ's had it. Vaughn Gittins had it in his fire drift. Ken Block's always got him in the Gymkhanas. Any viral video's got to have that iconic moment. Here's Casey Curry going through a junkyard, jumps into a pile of 6 cars. Literally, car just crashed into a pile of 6 cars, like a monster truck style. That's pretty rad. He goes off. No telling how many flat tires he got from the glass there. You'll never know because this is sponsored by his tire brand. But now he's done with the junkyard. That was a pretty cool shot, jumping at something different. Now you got the aerial footage of Lake Havasu, London Bridge. He's cruising his truck over the London Bridge. Looks like he's heading out to the island where Crazy Horse Campground's at. Now you got a bunch of Monster Energy girls on a boat. They're doing some wakeboarding. Got to have the bikini shots in the viral video, right? So now Casey Curry's around that campground on the island. I know about Crazy Horse where they have the Jet Ski World Finals, the Works Race, stuff like that. So Casey Curry drifting around. Now we got more shots of the Monster Energy boat and the wakeboarders. He's kind of right along the lake there, drifting through the campground. Big jump over a jet ski. Nice little jump. I mean, nothing crazy big, but was a little kicker there. Got the car 6-7 feet. Looked like a SST ramp is what it looked like. So Casey getting a little air there. All right, what's going to happen here? Casey, boom. Is that going to be our iconic? There's some old camp trailer, 20-foot camp trailer, and Casey Curry just literally destroyed the camp trailer, drove right through the side of it. Looked like something out of an action movie. Boom, right through the camp trailer. Now he's going through again like monster truck style, like his trophy Jeep, I guess they're calling it. This thing's like full-on monster truck style here. So now he's out through the campground. Now he's just drifting around donuts in the parking lot. Tire smoke, just all 4 tires lit up. Now he's back on the highway. Aerial video or footage of the channel and Lake Havasu there, the London Bridge. There goes Casey back over the bridge. Now he's onto the golf course. This golf course right next to, you walk along the boardwalk there. It's right next to the London Bridge. Another big jump. I actually used to go and ride my bicycle here. There's some really cool ledges and rails. I used to ride street here when I, 15, 20 years ago. So here is Casey drifting around the golf course. Pulls into the channel, the iconic Lake Havasu channel. He's got the Monster Energy girls waiting for him, standing on the roof of his truck. Big old Monster Energy logo. Now we got credits rolling, stuff like that. Sponsor plugs. So, I don't know. Decent video there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's Monster Energy, great production values, and I mean, there was nothing in that video there that I go, oh, wow, who can do that? Nobody can do that. Ken Block's got those bangers. BJ Baldwin's always got the bangers in his as well. This one, legit. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was something different. I think all of us, I mean, I put out a lot of videos, a couple a year, and not all of them are meant to be like viral, crazy, you know what I mean? Things like that. I think for you to get something like that, like to the level Ken Block has got, where it prints, millions and millions and millions of views, you got to go out of the box. You got to do something kind of insanely crazy. But this one, entertaining, cool backdrop, cool scenery. I dug it. It's it was decent. Props to Casey Curry for making it happen. Was it some cool Sorry, man. Almost got a hiccup there. That's weird. Never happened before on this show. Talking too much, I guess. But yeah, no. I mean, it was solid. Props to Casey Curry for making that happen. And I know some of the places he got permits and stuff like that probably took a little bit of legwork to get those permits to be able to drive the truck there. So props to him and those guys. It was. There's actually some really rad spots in Havasu in the back and in the back roads that we actually used to jump our trucks when we were younger. And there's actually streets in Havasu where there's like washes that they've paved through and the water runs, you know what I mean? And you can actually, if you hit him at 60, 65 in your stock truck, you can actually get airborne. I would have loved to see Casey and his Jeep hit him tapped out at like 90, 100 miles an hour and just see that thing sail in Lake Havasu. So, but yeah, all in all, good video. It was fun to do that. I don't know. We do those once in a while when big viral videos do come out. So, always fun to talk through those and watch my first time live, watch it on a national radio show. So yeah, that was Casey Curry, Hammer Down to Havasu. I already got rid of the link, but it's on YouTube, Monster Energy's channel. So make sure and go and check that out. So yeah, and also before we go to break, I did want to mention, Chris and I didn't get into it, but Graham Rahal actually posted something on his Twitter feed this past week, and he shared somebody else's. Rumor was, and didn't get put together, and I hope in 2020 they can make it happen. So Chicagoland Speedway there, Torque's actually in the past had some really good races there for short course, but it sounds like NASCAR and IndyCar were working to put on a joint event. Yes, NASCAR and IndyCar, and I'm not talking Xfinity or trucks. I mean NASCAR Cup. So it sounds like they were going to run an IndyCar night race at Chicagoland on a Saturday night, and then Sunday morning they were going to run a NASCAR Cup race. It didn't happen for this next year. I am hoping that somehow in 2020 it can. That is the type of thing that gets fans invested into both series. It makes for an epic weekend. People get to see the best in two different disciplines. Man, I can tell you, if NASCAR and IndyCar can get together and make that Chicagoland weekend happen in 2020, I will be there for both events. Talk about an epic way to put together two of the biggest and best motorsports series in North America together on one weekend. If that can actually happen at Chicagoland, whoo-ee, count me in. I am sold. Done deal. Take my money. I will be there. So, it sounds like for Graham to retweet it, and I can't remember, it was a news outlet that kind of broke the news there, and it's something that I guess fell apart at the last minute, but it would definitely be epic, and I'm sure there's a lot of truth and basis into it. So not able to make it happen for 2019. I think we're all hoping that somehow, some way, that can potentially happen in 2020, because I would definitely be on board for that. That's for sure. So still to come in the show today, we've got that big interview with Travis Pastrana, 3-parter coming up in hour number 2. Not too far away from that. Also got a Dirtfish Rally report. We're going to be talking COTA and the finale of America's Rallycross. And we've got a ton of stuff to pack into the show. I know Camp Razor coming up, Laughlin Desert Classic for Best in the Desert. I don't know if we'll get to previews of that. We may have to push those back a week, something like that. But man, a lot of stuff still to come here, and we are going to we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be talking about hour number 2 some more. I had a big guest on my podcast this week, Project Action. We'll talk about that, and then get to that Travis Pastrana interview. So more to come here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Hang tight. We'll be back shortly. Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3 from General Tire. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressive styling with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for. No fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Just wrapping up hour number 1. Want to mention to you guys, please go over and check out my website, downanddirtyshow.com. Chris Leone, who was just on the show not too long ago, he manages the website. Lots of content dropping there daily. Make sure and check it out. Also, subscribe to our weekly newsletter. We keep punching that thing out, and lots of good content in that newsletter. It's one of those newsletters you actually want to subscribe to, but you get all kinds of motorsports news. Links to the shows, some great offers from some of our amazing partners. So it's one of those, it's not junk mail. It's actually good mail. Telling you guys. But make sure and, go to iTunes. If you're listening to us in national syndication or online, thank you. But make sure and go and check out the show on iTunes. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a rating or review if you can. And also do the same to my second show, Project Action. If you leave a rating or review, leave your Twitter, Instagram, at username in the body of the review. When I see it, I will follow you back on social media. My promise to you for giving a review. But speaking of the second show, I've got an amazing guest this past week, Natalie Ava Marie. A lot of you guys know her from, I guess it would be Total Divas on E! Entertainment Network. She was also a pro wrestler with WWE for about 5-6 years. She's now an actress doing all kinds of movies, but she's also got a podcast there on Podcast One as well. But I recently interviewed her. It dropped last week. An amazing interview. Definitely check that out over there on iTunes or at Podcast One or my website. But the thing is already doing gangbusters. So obviously you guys enjoyed the interview. She's got a massive fan following as well, so I'm sure that didn't hurt matters. But make sure and check that out with Natalie Ava Marie. Coming up, obviously we're going to run Travis Pastrana this week. I've got Eddie Braun from Stuntman. He's going to be on the show as well. I've got Who else do we have on the show? Sean Whalen, off-road racer and a motivational speaker. He's going to be on. We've got my good friend Matt D'Andrea from Adam Carolla's CarCast. He's going to be on the show. So lots of stuff happening in Project Action. Check it out. We are going to take a short break. We come back, hour number 2, here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Kicking off hour number 2 here, which brings us to a Dirtfish Rally Report, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And you're looking for a discount code, use the coupon code JBDirtfish. That'll net you 15% off there at Dirtfish Rally School. Now, we will be talking a lot of Nitro Rallycross coming up with Travis Pastrana, which was, 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, but now we're going to talk about World RX as well as America's Rallycross. It happened at COTA this past weekend. And I got to tell you, Johan Kristoffersen wrapped up his title with the season still in play. But Johan Kristoffersen, he is your current champion. Well, he's the newly crowned champion for World Rallycross with 281 points. Matthias Ekström sitting there with 204. So big shout out to Kristoffersen. He also won there at Circuit of the Americas. Peter Solberg finishing up in second. My good friend Andreas Backrud third. Loeb, Matthias Ekström, and Timmy Hansen rounding out your top 6 there in World RX. But looking at America's Rallycross running there at COTA, it was Tanner Faust with a victory, Scott Speed second, Steve Arpin in third, Topi Heikkinen, or Tomas Heikkinen, driving for Subaru Rally Team USA. Stoked to see him behind the wheel there. He finished up in 4th, Patrick Sandell 5th, Ken Block in 6th. That rounds out your top 6 in the main event there at Austin. Scott Speed taking away that championship. Then looking at ARX2, also known as Lights, it was Connor Martell from Dirtfish taking the victory, but Alex Keys in the first main event taking the win. Connor Martell second, Scott Anderson in third, also in a Dirtfish-backed ride. And then ARX2 day 2, it was Alex Keys, Fraser McConnell, and Christian Brooks 1, 2, and 3 there in the second final of the weekend. But it was all Connor Martell walking away with the season championship, and it's only a matter of time, I think, before we see him behind the wheel of a supercar. But we are going to take a short break. When we return, Travis Pastrana going to join us here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Anytime TP is on the air, you don't want to miss it, and such is the case today. So we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3 from General Tire. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressive styling with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker and a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'd like to welcome my good friend Travis Pastrana to the show. TP, it's been a while since we've caught up, buddy.
Yeah, it has been, man. Been out since the desert, I guess, in Vegas.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the last time we saw each other was in a bar in Gabbs, Nevada. Now, we probably won't tell everybody what actually happened in the bar in Gabbs, Nevada, but it was a good time anyways.
Yeah, it was not bad. It was a 3-wheeler that came down the road, and yeah. I mean, technically I won the bet.
Yeah.
Because I didn't break down. I got it there. It's just because the vehicle wouldn't start when you got in. That's your fault.
Yeah, I think I gave you $100 bill and I signed it, but I don't know. I think I still owe you a little bit of money on that one. So, but
no, it was good, man. But yeah, good to be on the show though, for sure.
Yeah. That being said, I think the last time we talked, or we've texted here and there, but I've got a couple of random cashier's checks for like $3,000 for you sitting here in the office, and I can't even. I think we were talking about that, so I got to bring those to you in Maryland at some point, I guess. So I don't know. We got random stuff happening.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So no, dude, great to have you on the show. I know I've been meaning to catch up, but you're a hard man to catch up with, especially this summer. I know I'm going to miss something, but we start out, I mean, you've had Nitro World Games, you've done Pikes Peak, you've done some stage rally, you've obviously done some rally cross, now we got MX of Nations. I mean, I don't know if anybody can cram more stuff into like a 2 or 3 month period than you actually have.
No, without a doubt. I mean, honestly, last year was probably my best year all around. We were able to win the ALA championship against my hero, mentor, David Higgins, and teammate on Subaru Rally Team USA. And they landed a double backflip 360, which was kind of a trick that's literally taken me 10 years, pretty much since the double backflip on dirt bikes in 2006. I've been trying this on BMX bikes and mountain bikes and trampolines and stuff. So that was good. Action figures came out. It was awesome to just get full kind of creative control over that. And worked with Cody Stoddard on kind of the editing side. And spent a month down in Australia, came back, got to race Pikes Peak spec class, but it was freaking rad. Really cool. Hildebrandt was awesome skiing. Just talking crap the whole way up against these kind of IndyCar drivers, road course drivers, and Pikes Peak kind of feels more like a rally though, even though you don't you memorize the whole course on the way up. And spent a lot of time at Bilko's house on the simulator, the iRacing simulator basically, and kind of memorized the hill. And I was actually 1.2 seconds faster in real life than the simulator. So I feel like maybe you need that speed factor, the fear factor to get it there. But no, and then Nitro World Games, kind of a long time in the making, but just hit the go button, and it was a last second deal to get that rallycross course done. And man, everyone literally pooping out a gold meat. Anyway, sorry, not use that term, but they were scared to death of this jump. And I wanted it to be nitro. I wanted it to be, the big air of action sports. And at the end of the day, these guys all came from all over. Matthias Ekstrom came over, and it was like my all-time hero as far as car driving. And Ken Block was there, and Arpin, and those guys. And of course, the DW guys came out, and all the Subaru guys. And man, what one hell of an event! I bottlenecked the course a little bit too much coming into the big jumps. I didn't want to see anyone, crash off the 130-footer and jump off the side and kill themselves. So there was a little bit of damage in the final when all 8 of us went for one spot, and only 2 people really came out. But still good racing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, in talking about the Nitro World Games track, I mean, in that big booter, I got to tell you, the most not to discredit the racing, but the most impressive thing of the whole deal was you're jumping a 4-seat stock Razor over it to test it, I guess. Like, I watched that, and I'm like, Trav, you're nuts, dude.
Everything flies, man. That was the thing, because the cars didn't get in until all the drivers got in, and the teams were there, but the car that I was supposed to test was basically the car that Andy Bell jumped with Ethan Roberts on top. And me and the mouse in my pocket, I was to test the rest of the track, and I broke, basically messed up the clutch in it. So they were fixing the transmission, and everything was kind of messed up. And so they were like, I don't know, and everyone started getting worried. I'm like, all right, what do we have around here on the fly? And I almost grabbed Scott Speed's own car, but then he pulled the keys, and I looked over, and there's the track's 4-seater Razor. And I just looked, I was like, tires aired up, and perfect, got gas, perfect, and launched it. And honestly, the Razor landed further than the cars ever did, but definitely cool to have when your track vehicle is more badass than suspension-wise than pretty much any race vehicle. It's kind of a cool deal.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and talking about that, I mean, obviously, we remember back from X years ago, and Rallycross was in there. I mean, I know a lot of guys. I mean, like Block, he never got that gold medal. There was a lot of guys. I mean, this is big to have medaling back in Rallycross. I mean, props to you guys. I mean, this had to have everybody, lit up. And I mean, and you talk about the course build, dude. I feel like this is how rallycross tracks should be. I mean, this is what people expect from a rallycross track. I feel like sometimes rallycross got more touring car-ish, and I feel like this brings the action sports back to rallycross.
No, that's 100% kind of what I was thinking is, we have these, $500,000, 0 to 60 in 1.8 second supercars. I mean, they call them supercars for a reason. They're absolutely unbelievable. All-wheel drive, they fly, they jump, the downforce, and these cars are amazing. And then we basically go out in the parking lot and they coat it off and they put this little tiny jump in. And when we first started American Rallycross, there was huge jumps. And X Games started, not huge, but, 60, 80 feet over under jumps where every lap you had to clear a gap where people going under. And, one of the guys came up a little short from Europe right as the Europeans had started to come over. And, then Gronholm, had a big crash and, they were like, nope, that's it, no more jumps. I'm like, well, look, if you're on a supercross track, you don't make the triple, you break a wrist. That's what happens. These guys, they got to understand how to do it, but they made them all tabletops, and the cars are getting 2 inches off the ground, and you're racing around the parking lot, and it's single file, and it's through a road course, and I was like, no, we're going dirt. I don't care. And we had some dust issues. I thought we had it under control. We had, basically a lot of guys from dirt track racing and everything, but man, these cars was there some dust. Then and Matthias Ekstrom and all the guys and the guys from Europe came out, and we all worked together on the course after it was kind of designed, and we need this, we need that, and it was wild because there was Ford lines and there was Audi lines and there was different lines, and everyone's lobbying for different stuff, and I had to be that guy that's like, all right, look, I got my team yelling at me, if we take out this corner, we're a quarter of a second slower in this corner, but we're faster than the rest of the track. I was like, no, I can't. My main, first and foremost, I got to make this the best race possible so that all the manufacturers want to come back, so that all the cars make it through without damage. And, man, that didn't work out. But at least the jump, no cars really got damaged over the jump. And that was the cool part. Everyone lived. No one got hurt. So all the cars flew well. We had to take downforce and put it on the rear of the Subaru because we were getting our car was just a little bigger than the rest of the cars, so we need more front downforce to get the front to stick. And we had to take normally they take the downforce off the rear to make it more equal. But as we went over the jump, first time I jumped the jump, I'd never jumped a car with downforce, and it had 800 pounds of front downforce and 50 pounds of rear downforce. That thing hit the air and just nose dove. I was like, whoa, never seen this before. So it was a learning experience all around. But at the end of the day, we made a lot of mistakes, and we could have done it a lot better. But the excitement, the crowd just on their feet. I mean, I went side by side with Patrick Sandell over the jump. He kind of spun me in the corner before, so I went wide, side by side over a 130-foot jump with Matthias Ekstrom underneath of us. We went in the next turn side by side. We took the high road. Matthias took the low road. I went from first to third to second, and then back to first in the next corner. And that's something you can't do in a lot of courses. We had huge bank corners and just multiple lines and dirt. I love dirt.
Well, and that's what makes an exciting event. You know what I mean? People, it's just like, short course off-road or supercross. I mean, anything can happen in any given corner, and it makes it that exciting. Nobody gets out in the lead and then just phones it in for the rest of the race. Yeah, the fastest lines of the course were the outside lines, which it just hasn't happened in a GRC race in a while. And then the reason that I was really adamant about that is because you can always come on the inside and get around. Not get around, but at least, get in front of the other car, slow his line up, but, it allows room for passing. And so I qualified fourth, 0.09 hundredths of a second off a pole. So less than a tenth of a second separated first through fourth. And one of the guys the guy that got second, Timmy, he took a completely different route. He didn't take the big jump. He took the small jump with 2 extra berms and a couple more inside. So completely different lines. And the entire 9-car field was within 0.7 of a second. Top 4, less than a tenth apart, all taking different lines, all utilizing, what their car does the best. And for me, that was a win. Wow. So and the course was 1.5 miles long, by the way, and had a bunch of jumps and a bunch of, dirt, pavement, everything. So it was a 1:10 lap time, and we're within a 100th of a second. And we'll be back with more with Travis after this. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Looking to have some fun on 4 wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Catching up here with Travis Pastrana. So, Travis, we're gonna jump around here a bit because I know you only got a certain amount of time, and we got a ton to talk about. I want to go back real quick and talk about Pikes Peak, dude. I was at Mount Washington with you when you set the record at Mount Washington. What are the comparables between Mount Washington and Pikes Peak?
Well, I was in a much different vehicle.
Yeah.
So Mount Washington is a lot rougher. You're in the air a lot more. You're bouncing around a lot more. It's a lot narrower. It's a lot steeper. It has a lot more corners. So Mount Washington really is more like rally, where Pikes Peak is pretty open. It gets wider and wider. Not every year, but I mean, since they've paved it, it's a pretty wide, fast road to the top of that mountain. So the only really similarities is that there's big cliffs, and if you go off on some corners, you're going for a big ride. The difference is Pikes Peak on most of those corners that could kill you as you tumble down for 1,000 feet. Have guardrails on the outside, whereas Mount Washington doesn't have anything.
Yeah, that's Mount Washington, dude. That's gnarly. I know there was the one off Higgins had last year, and it wasn't a bad off, but it just happened in the right spot where, he didn't go tumbling down thousands of feet. But yeah, you just drive up the top of Mount Washington and you look off the side, and you're like, wow, this has got some serious consequences.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of roads on Mount Washington that are or sections that are wide open. We hit 150 miles an hour, 148 or something. I didn't do kilometers well, so it's somewhere just under 150, and or miles an hour, under 150 miles an hour. But it's almost dead straight, but you're in the air bouncing around on these bumps basically in the road at 140, 150 miles an hour, and there's 1,000-foot cliff on one side, and sometimes you go I literally went over top of the edge of the road on one side, just so I wouldn't hit the mountain as it came on the other side. 'Cause nothing is straight on Mount Washington, but if you miss your line by literally 6 inches one way or the other, you're either off the cliff or into the wall, then probably off the cliff after that. So definitely a lot higher risk in Mount Washington. But then this year we're watching that the electric car go up. I mean, I thought I was watching the Jetsons. This thing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how fast he was going. It was amazing.
Yeah. So I guess we're fast forwarding through your summer as we speak. We've hit Nitro World Games. We've hit Pikes Peak. Dude, we got to talk about Las Vegas, though. Evel Knievel, your jumps. I mean, I know you teamed up with with Indian. Obviously Nitro was involved, but I mean, take us through this deal, because I know, you and I have talked in the past. I mean, I know what Evel Knievel means to you and Jolene and everybody, you know what I mean, in action sports for that matter. But how did this deal get put together, man? And I mean, I think at the end of the day, everybody goes, "Oh, Travis did that easy," but I'm looking at that, looking at the bike you jumped on and everything else, man. I mean, this was the ultimate tribute to Evel. I mean, you didn't cut any corners. You did things as authentic as you possibly could.
No, and that was just the really cool part about this. And, I was kind of after winning the double flip 360, I'm like, all right, I'm done doing dumb stuff. And literally 2 days later, History Channel calls Nitro Circus and says, hey, we're looking for a big one-off live stunt. And kind of sitting down at a round table with a bunch of the guys at Nitro, and Dave Mateus goes, dude, if we're doing it on History, it has to be Evel Knievel. Like, let's call it the Knievel family. And we called his kids basically. And we're like, would you be interested? Can someone do this, do a jump and basically do a tribute? And we started talking. We're like, and they said yes. I'm like, all right, what are the most infamous or famous, jumps that Evel ever did? And we're like, we got to get Greyhound buses. And we called Greyhound, and they're like, heck yeah, we're in. We thought about the car jump. I was like, well, that'd be a cool one as well. But I was like, if we do anything, it's got to be Caesar Sound. That's the most famous, infamous stunt location in the world. And we called up, and I was expecting a month reply to say no. And the next day they called back, like, yeah, this sounds good. I was like, oh crap. All right, so we're in. Like, who's going to jump? And everyone's just staring at me on the other end of the table. And I was like, all right, I'll do it because this sounds way awesome. But it can't be on a modern day bike. It has to be a tribute. Like, we have to go and there has to be a cape. There has to be leathers. There has to be the Evel, the showmanship, the everything. I'm like, if we're going to do this authentically, we're going to have to go and do it on a 750 V twin. We're going to have to go back and really do what Evel, what would Evel do, and it was wild because we went to Roland Sands and he got me set up, and we were thinking Harley, and he said, look, he goes, Indian has put so much into the motorcycle community, and they've done, so much for everything. And he goes, you're going to break some bikes. He's like, Evel never landed a jump without breaking his bike. And these bikes aren't meant to fly. They're not meant to do this stuff. He goes, you're going to need an R&D team that's going to not necessarily change it. Just whenever you break something, they got to weld it, fix it, and hopefully get that part a little stronger so you can do a couple jumps. And I was like, wait, a couple jumps? They're like, well, didn't you say you wanted to do this one, this one, this one? I was like, well, no, I wanted to do, what's the biggest one? They're like, they're all amazing. We should do them all. I was like, man, be careful what you ask for. It's just my unit. And I tell you what, it turned out really awesome. It's supposed to be just a tribute. And, obviously History built it up a little bit more than what it should have been as far as, technical levels. Those motorcycles, I mean, it was a lot harder than I expected, to be perfectly honest. The landing it smashed me. Just because it just got 3 inches of suspension travel. It was like jumping a mountain bike, basically, 200 feet. But a mountain bike that weighs, 450 pounds. So, but yeah, it was interesting. But at the end of the day, I thought it was an awesome opportunity to bring my dad's generation together with kind of the generation after me, and show my dad that the stuntman hasn't died, and show the next generation where the stuntman really came from. So I think all in all it was pretty good. I mean, would have loved to have gone a little more in detail on the guys that have jumped in action sports today, with Mike Metzger and backflipping, Caesar Stoughton, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they did kind of sensationalize it for TV, but it was the highest rated show in over 10 years on History. So they knew what they were doing on that end, I guess.
Yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing. So, like I said before, this is a 3-part interview. We're going to jump to the next one after the break, with Mr. TP199. But we had to trim it there so we could fit the next one into the next segment. But if you want to listen to this interview uncut, Project Action, it'll drop tomorrow, Thursday, which is October 4th. If you listen to this on delayed, you can get it over there or vice versa. But always fun catching up with Travis. I do want to mention, he had talked about there, about bridging the gap between generations, Evel fans, action sports fans now, things like that, and keeping things authentic. And I recently was able to do an interview with Eddie Braun for Project Action. I think that'll drop here in the next couple of weeks. He is the focus of the movie Stuntman, a professional stuntman in Hollywood, but what Stuntman is about, too, is not only his career, but here about a year or two ago, he wanted to recreate another iconic Evel Knievel stunt, the Snake River Canyon jump. And that's the one that went disastrously wrong for Evel. He actually didn't get hurt in that one, but it's where his rocket launched. And he got right after launch, the parachute came out, and he just kind of went to the bottom of the canyon. Rocket crashed at the bottom with the parachute, and Evel got out, and it was a bummer. Never actually cleared the thing. Well, Eddie Braun comes back and recreated that same identical, type rocket, everything else, and and basically made it authentic down to a T with the technology and the launch ramp and the parachutes and everything else. And it's really, really interesting interview with Eddie Braun, but same thing. He went to Evel's family. These guys like Travis and Eddie, when they do these, they're not just doing them. They're actually going to the family. They want the family's blessing. They want to do it as authentic as possible. And just like Travis wearing Evel's boots, in the same similar type bike, ramps, angle, like everything about him is very similar to the way Evel did it. Eddie Braun did that with this rocket, and now technology has become so much better, and it would have been much easier to use today's technology to do that, but Eddie wanted to recreate how Evel did it in that Snake River Canyon jump, and he went back to the beginning. He got the same people Evel surrounded himself with and recreated the stunt and made it as absolute authentic as possible. And I think that's what's amazing, because now this day and age, jumping the Caesars Palace fountains, I mean, you could get a brand new CRF 450 and, one of these FMX jumps and literally, hit it, and these guys would do it in their sleep. Metzger's backflipped it like it's not a hard deal now. It was when Evel did it, but to make it hard, Travis had to go back to the roots. He had to do it authentically, and I think that's what's really, really remarkable about what these guys are doing, in this day and age when they recreate Evel stunts. And I think now with what Travis has done, and I think with what Eddie Braun's done, I don't know that there's much more to do. You know what I mean? I think that people can, make a nod to Evel Knievel, but honestly, these iconic stunts have been done now, and they've been done Evel's way, and we've tipped the cap to Evel, and I don't know that there's much left, left to do other than honor Evel Knievel, So we're going to take a short break. We come back more with Travis Pastrana here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound of the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out VisionWheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, along with Travis Pastrana, catching up on all things Trav's been doing over the summer. So, Trav, we got to switch gears here. I know you're there in Minneapolis, got Nitro Circus going on, but we got to talk about the newest thing that's coming up very, very soon, MX of Nations. And I got to say, my friend, there's a lot going on with this. I am stoked to see you on a two-stroke, but I also know that all the proceeds of this crazy adventure that you guys are doing also go to help the survivors there and, you know, and the people that lost their homes with the hurricane in Puerto Rico. So take us through all things MX Nations.
Well, how much time do you have, Jim?
We got as much time as you want, Trav.
Yeah, oh, man. This started out, Ronnie Mack, believe it or not, actually really smart guy. I mean, he's one of, if not the highest paid or highest show feed athletes in motorcycles. Point blank, bar none. Bigger than Tomac, bigger than, like, he's got more following, more everything. And it's hard for the racing industry to understand. It's hard for me to understand, to be perfectly honest. But we have a Nitro Circus here and there. And, you know, Ronnie's the first person to sign autographs. All the kids, he's good with the kids. He's good with the families. He's out there 24/7, talking to people, hanging out, really like what 90s motocross was, you know, just that guy that's there and everyone can hang out and talk to and relate with. And he's the last person at the bar with the you know, the rednecks at the end of the night. So he covers all of his bases there, and the crowd loves him. And he went to Gabby, who is the head of Puerto Rico. He goes, look, I know you guys are struggling financially. You know, just with the hurricane that came out and the disaster that was down there, you know, almost 2 years ago now. And he's like, look, I can help Puerto Rican motocross. He goes, we're going to raise, and he shot for the moon. He's like, we're going to raise $1 million. Honestly, with Ronnie Mack was still involved, I wouldn't put it past him too far to be able to do that. I mean, on the first day, in one day, when we announced the team at Unadilla, we raised $15,000, just in merch sales. And sent him a check that Wednesday, like literally, you know, 4 days after announcing the team. So Ronnie Mack has a big following, and it was pretty rad, but the motorcycle community was not having it. They said, look, you know, even though we went through FIM and everything and Ustream and we had it approved, I was like, look, Ronnie, we're drawing too much attention away from this event, which in my opinion is the greatest event in motocross, by just the negative of the internal press. Even if the people want to see it, it's going to add a lot of people to the event, and everyone's going to be stoked and doing it for good cause. I'm like, I'm not willing personally to put myself out there on that far of a limb to go against the industry that's built me. Even though I think, you know, we were planning on doing a video project and planning on doing a lot of good and everything. I'm like, it's just too far out there. So Ron stepped back in a very professional way. And it's like, look, I understand. He goes, I love the moto industry. You know, they haven't loved me back, but the fans have, and I want to do I think he's going to be there and still support Puerto Rico and still support this whole project. He's coming down to Puerto Rico to actually swing a hammer. And I don't know how much we'll be able to do, but, we're at almost $200,000 raised right now. We got Kevin Windham out of retirement on the team. I mean, this guy, he's a caveman.
Rad.
It's awesome. He's riding for Geico because, so easy a caveman can do it. Like, this guy, literally 230 pounds straight off the couch. Retirement has done this man well. But he agreed. He's like, look, this is an awesome cause. We can raise some money. And, so like K-Dub and I will probably go jump on machines and we'll go fix up the 3 big moto tracks and fix up some roads that have been closed down for a while. Ryan Sipes and his buddies are going down there with disaster relief, and basically they're swinging some hammers and putting some roofs on some houses. We got Nate Wessel also going down. He's a ramp builder, built all the ramps for X Games for years, and then for me and Nitro Circus and all this stuff, and all going down free of charge, for the cause. And even if they can put roofs on 6 or 7 houses while we're down there for a week, that's 6 or 7 families that aren't living with a tarp over their roof. And the moto industry will, fix up the tracks, for the guys that are still riding down there and try to get those guys back going. And actually bringing my family down. And we're going to go up to the mountains where there's a lot of poverty, and it's right before Christmas when we go down there. And I told my daughter, I said, look, we're not getting gifts this year, but we're going to go and we're going to give a bunch of gifts out to kids that don't normally get this. And it was funny because my one daughter was like, well, Santa Claus will give them gifts. I'm like, yeah, sometimes Santa Claus has a hard time getting to everybody. So we're going to go be Santa's little helpers down here. So pretty cool. I think it'll be, like I said, we're not going to change the world, but I think we'll change a few people's world. And at the end of the day, it's a really cool project. And hey, I get to ride the Motocross Nations again. Unfortunately, an old injury kind of flared up, and I'm barely walking right now, and I haven't ridden a motorcycle in 3 weeks coming into this, and it's been a catastrophe as far as my riding goes. But I'll give it hell still, and we'll see what we got.
Yeah, I know you showed a picture of your knees, and I'm like, holy crap, man. I mean, and I think, to race competitively in in motocross or supercross, I mean, it's another level of training. I know, just talking to guys like Dungy, you know what I mean? And he had said, like, people don't realize, like, how much you have to put in to be competitive at that level.
Oh, it's beyond. But it's not like normal sports. Where when I was amateur, I was like, oh, I'll train so hard, I'll be in the best shape. Yeah, you will, until you have a broken ankle. And then you're like, okay, well, I can't run, and my knee's shot, so I can't bicycle. And then you start swimming, and then you dislocate your shoulder, and you're like, oh, crap, how the hell am I supposed to stay in shape for this? And, I can't run, I can't do anything. So you show up to the races, and you do the best you can on adrenaline, and that's honestly what I'm going to be doing here. I just took a full month. It was magical. It was horrible timing, great timing, however you want to look at it. Through the boot campaign, some military contacts, we're looking in for Nitro Circus mostly for head trauma stuff, but they had talked about this Virginia high performance place where they get guys basically that, doctors say will never walk again, or they'll, their heads are messed up, or their elbows, or they're missing a leg, or whatever, all the top military guys and SEALs. And they get these guys back performing, to the highest of what anyone would ever imagine. So I took Phil down there. I was like, Phil, we're going. And we spent a month just physical therapy, and I spent it. It's funny because Phil came in a wheelchair, and they said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I want to ride motorcycles for a living again." And they looked at him, and they looked at me, who walked in, and they said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to walk normal again, and when I fall over, I don't want to break in half." So we had obviously goals. But at the end of the month, I wasn't in better shape, but my body was actually working normal for the first time in ever. Since I was 14 and blew up my ACL and broke my pelvis for the first time, and that was good. It was a good start. It was a good, healthy start. And then I made it a week on the motorcycle, and I still broke. So that was a month ago, and now I'm coming in to the biggest race probably ever held on U.S. soil, racing a two-stroke for the territory of Puerto Rico, and I can't even bend my leg far enough to get to the foot peg. So, I mean, perfect, right?
Yeah, it sounds par. Yeah, I was going to say it sounds par for the course for you, buddy. I mean, worse has happened, right?
For sure.
All right, Trav. Well, dude, it is always fun catching up. I know we got to do it more often. I know at some point I text with Tommy and Jolene all the time. I got to get back there and have some fun with you guys, maybe this fall or winter. If you ever get a break in your crazy schedule, let's put it that way.
Dude, you have to come. We've got just the raddest razor course on earth. I keep telling you this. It's about a mile and got huge jumps. Everything's pretty safe. All tabletops. It's just super rad. You got it anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah, well, I'll text you when we get off air. We'll line something up. I know Wessel, he texts me regularly, and it's like I just got to get back there with I guess my quote family back there and have some fun, man. So looking forward to it. Good luck at MX and Nations, man, and always fun catching up, TP.
I'm gonna need it.
Oh man, it's funny. You start a radio show. You're this small town kid, obviously I raced some off-road trucks and things like that. And we're almost 7 years in now. And, here's a guy who's Travis Pastrana, the biggest guy in the world, as far as I'm concerned, in action sports and everything else. A guy like, I don't want to say idolized, but like, you're like, man, that guy's, wow. He's like Travis. He's super celebrity, right? And then you start doing radio and you start to meet people and things like that. And I think I did my first interview with Travis year and a half into the show. I think it was like episode number 75 or something like that, and it was booked through Wasserman and, it took forever to line it up. And this one, right before he was doing the Mint 400 with Menzies. And, did the interview and it was, 15 minutes long, something like that. And, we get that thing in the book and, it was one of those like, but then you do a certain amount of interviews with a guy, and then Travis and I are at events together, and then and then I become friends with Tommy and Jolene and things like that, and then Travis it gets put together where he's going to race with me at Vegas to Reno last year, and you get to be friends with this guy. That's what's crazy. Like you get to be really good friends with a guy who is like supposedly supposed to be the super celebrity, but he's literally the most down to earth human being I've ever met. You know what I mean? And he's just authentic. He loves people. He loves life. The dude is awesome. He's a good friend of mine, and it's always fun to catch up with him. And it's one of those, like, it's so rare I get the chance to catch up with him because the dude is literally all over the place. And he always texts back, like, but it's one of those, like, you feel bad because this guy literally every weekend he's doing some massive event or stunt or jump. Like, if you look back at the year he's had, he's done stage rally and, here in the United States. He's done rallycross here in the United States. So he's done ARA and ARX. So he's done rallycross and stage rally. He's got Nitro World Games. He's got everything he does with Nitro Circus, video, stunts, all that other stuff. He did the Evel Knievel jumps. He went to Pikes Peak. Now he's doing MX of Nations, like seriously, this dude, like, does he stop? What's he going to do? Throw in like a NASCAR race next or something like that? Like, you just don't know. But I will go back to what I've said in the past. Travis Pastrana is literally one of the most talented athletes with an engine in the world. I mean, without an engine, yes, but like, here's a guy who can race NASCAR, who can jump in go-karts, he can race off-road trucks, he can race UTVs, he can race razors, he can road race, he can go to Race of Champions, he can jump on a dirt bike, he's competitive, you know what I mean? He's been competitive in Supercross and things like that. Like, freestyle, the guy, literally helped create an industry. This dude is seriously one of the most talented human beings to ever touch a steering wheel or drive something with an engine. Like, literally, he's that good, and it's crazy. I don't think he gets his due. A lot of people are always, he's going to crash, he's going to do this. Yeah, he's had a lot of crashes because he pushes the limits. But this dude is so beyond talented behind the wheel of something. And, it's just crazy that he can just jump back and forth between disciplines. And, and he's good at all of them. Like, literally, it's up and running. Like, who jumps in a stock 4-seat Razor, hucks it over 100-and-something foot gap, and, goes, all right, it's good for a rally car, then jumps in a rally car and does it again. Like, who does that? Travis Pastrana does. There's the video from him in, South America like a year or two ago. He got flack for it, but there's some old jalopy motorcycle. I didn't even know what it was, and they're like, bet you can't backflip it. He went into a drainage ditch and backflipped it out of a drainage ditch. I mean, like, who does that? TP does. So anyways, good catching up with Travis. That will air in its entirety this week on Project Action. So if you don't want it all chopped up, you want the full thing, check out Project Action, dropping this Thursday, which is tomorrow if you're listening live right now. If you're in national syndication, it's already out, but that will be our Project Action interview this week with Mr. TP 199. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're wrapping things up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere is possible with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Man, fun show today. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, tons of fun. Couldn't thank you guys enough. We're episode 355. That is right, 355 episodes into this deal. That is a lot of me talking. That's a lot of you guys listening. Thank you guys for all the feedback on those social channels and on the websites at JimBeaver15 on all forms of social media. At Down and Dirty Show is our second Instagram account as well. Lots of rad content there. Join our Facebook group and make sure and check out the website, downanddirtyshow.com. We've got a ton of content, multiple articles being posted each and every day there 7 days a week to the website. So if you like motorsports content, check it out over there at downanddirtyshow.com. Check us out on iTunes. Subscribe, rate, review to both the Down and Dirty Radio Show and Project Action. Leave a rating or review and leave your Twitter and Instagram at username on those iTunes iTunes reviews. If I see it, I will follow you back on social media. Make sure if you want to join our mailing list, DM me on one of the forms of social media with your email address. I'll make sure and get you added to our big mailing list. Got stuff going out at least once a week. Good stuff too. It's not spam. So definitely check that out. Natalie Ava Marie, make sure and check that interview out that we aired last week in Project Action. Travis Pastrana, he is going to be our guest this week in Project Action. So, we got, Lucas Oil, the finale coming up. We got Laughlin Desert Classic, Camp Razor coming the end of October. NHRA, that finale coming up as well. SEMA Show, trade show season is upon us, and PRI after that. It's going to be a fun one. Big thanks to Polaris, Razor, General Tire, Subaru, Vision Wheel, Casey Allies, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, Optimus, MotoShield Pro, GoParts.com, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Audible. Make sure and check out audible.com/downanddirty. It's going to get you a 30-day free trial and your first audiobook free. Check out goparts.com, our friends over there. And definitely use that coupon code JBDirtfish. It'll get you 15% off at Dirtfish Rally School for any and all classes. All right, we are going to cap things off today. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Make sure and join us next week and on Project Action on Thursday. Check out all those Lucas Oil short course shows on Tuesdays that I voiced. Be safe. As always, game on.